Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, details on a number of bad accidents, including in Herman, where a motorcyclist was killed last night. Plus how a reduction in state police patrols is impacting crime fighting in Washington County. And a unique project at Colby College is studying how wildfire smoke is impacting our atmosphere. Good morning, everyone. I'm Craig Colson. Emma Smith has the day off. We thank you for joining us. We'll have all the day's news coming up. But first, to check out that forecast. Friday is finally here. It looks like a cloudy day ahead today with a mixture of sunshine. It looks like it will stay dry for the most part, but rain is moving in for the weekend. For more on what we can expect, let's turn things over to Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig, thank you very much. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Dirt Road Acres, your #1 dispensary providing outstanding customer service and award-winning knowledge at most affordable prices. As we get into things this morning, there was an aerial flood advisory issued for a while this morning for parts of Washington County because of some heavy rainfall that have since fallen in those areas. And we take a look at the radar in a few seconds, we'll show you that. But of course, on top of that, though, areas of dense fog developing this morning. So in Washington County, looks like we have some fog and some aerial flooding that's taking place this morning, so not a good combo there. But other spots are waking up to some fog in a few areas. But otherwise, here's the radar. You can see the showers and storms that have developed. They've been tracking from the west, going toward the east, kind of moving over the same area. That's why an aerial flood advisory has been issued, because there's been some heavy downpours with some of those showers and storms as well. As we do zoom things out, though, we're starting to catch a little bit of a break looking further off towards the west. Overall, we should be dry today with a mostly cloudy sky, but chances for showers and thunderstorms will start to pick up again later on tonight. Mostly cloudy today, maybe some sunshine late in the day as well. A few showers and storms are possible again later on tonight and parts of early tomorrow morning. As for the winds, not bad, roughly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, maybe more gusty ones along the coast near the ocean area, but nothing too extreme on the way, at least anytime soon. So our hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a mostly cloudy sky, temperatures rising into the 80s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig?
All right, thank you, Devin. We'll see you a little later on. Well, a motorcyclist was killed last night following a terrible crash in Herman. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office says emergency crews were called to Route 2 around 7:43 last night. A motorcycle had collided with two other vehicles near the intersection with the Annis Road, the site of so many bad accidents in the past. The cyclist was transported to Northern Light Hospital, where he died from his injuries. The driver in one of the cars received minor injuries. The other driver in the third vehicle wasn't hurt. The accident is now under investigation, and officials say they'll release more information in the coming days. Meanwhile, a motorcyclist was also killed Thursday following a terrible crash in Auburn. The initial investigation determined that a pickup truck towing a trailer was exiting Wallingford's equipment when it collided with a motorcycle traveling northbound on the Turner Road. The operator of the cycle died at the scene. The driver of the pickup truck not hurt. The Auburn Police Department is being assisted by the Maine State Police and Lewiston Police Department in the investigation. Further details of the crash are not being released at this time. Emergency officials were called to a crash in Heartland just before noon yesterday, where they found a 20-year-old man had been ejected from a vehicle, partially at least. According to first responders on the scene, it appears that the car rolled over and crossed the road, landing on its side. They say they believe speed was a factor. The occupant was taken to the hospital by life flight helicopter with a head injury. Accident reconstruction teams also called to the scene. We will bring you more details on that crash when they become available. And a vehicle fire on the interstate in Sydney triggered two crashes as part of a chain reaction. The vehicle fire happened just before 3:30 Wednesday afternoon. The driver and sole occupant, 46-year-old Gerald Foss of Winslow, managed to pull the car over to the breakdown lane and get out safely before the car was engulfed in flames. A state police spokesperson says smoke could be seen from a distance and traffic was reduced to just one lane. As traffic was slowing down, a four-vehicle crash occurred that delayed the fire department and brought traffic to a complete stop. One person was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Officers cleared up the crash, but the traffic was still backed up. But another crash involving four vehicles happened when a person braked for slow-moving traffic. Four more people were taken to the hospital with minor injuries from that. Well, Waterville police have arrested a suspect in connection with a shooting yesterday at the Nissen Country Kitchen. Actually, it happened Wednesday at the Nissen Country Kitchen and Bakery outlet, and that individual is out on bail tonight. According to Waterville Police Chief William Bonney, 25-year-old Christopher McKenna of Winslow was arrested in connection with the shooting on Wednesday. McKenna is charged with reckless conduct with a dangerous weapon, which is a felony. In a statement from Waterville Police, they say the incident happened at around 3:40 Wednesday afternoon. Officers learned prior to arriving on the scene that shots were fired and a male individual transported himself to a nearby hospital to receive treatment for his wounds. Police say as they investigated, they determined that McKenna was the one who shot the victim. Chief Bondy says the incident likely occurred from an altercation that happened earlier that same day.
There was a previous altercation earlier in the day, and that carried over to the Country Kitchen here in Waterville, where the two men continued to have this altercation, which resulted in shots being fired.
Well, Chief Bondy says he expects there will be more charges to come in the near future. They did not release details about the extent of the victim's injuries, other than to say that they are not considered life-threatening. That case remains under investigation. A Canaan man who beat his girlfriend to death has died in prison. The Department of Corrections reports that 53-year-old Shannon Atwood passed away yesterday at the Mountain View Correctional Facility in Charleston. Atwood was serving time for the murder of Cheryl Murdoch. He had also been charged with murdering his estranged wife, Shirley Moon Atwood, but that charge was dropped. His death will now be investigated by the Attorney General's office, which is standard procedure when an inmate dies while incarcerated. Since 2019, the Maine State Police have decreased the amount of troopers patrolling throughout Maine's 16 counties. This adjustment has put counties like Washington in a tough situation. Our Doug Banks with that story.
Washington County is over 3,000 square miles of mountain ranges and a fast-paced Route 9. 32,000 people call Washington County home, and all of this covered by only 14 Washington County Sheriff's deputies. With 3,000 complaints per year in the county, responsibilities used to be shared between the Sheriff's Office and the Maine State Police.
We went to 50-50 sharing complaints to a third of the complaints being shared, down to we're not going to be able to do that anymore.
This has impacted the Sheriff's Office by having fewer deputies patrolling the speed limit and triggering a pecking order of sorts in terms of which complaints they need to attend to first.
We've had to tell these towns, and they've actually put money up for it, and we told them just that we can't do it.
Lieutenant Michael Johnston manages Washington, Penobscot, Hancock, and Piscataquis counties for Maine State Police.
We have renegotiated a resource coordination agreement with the Washington County Sheriff's Office. We have not abandoned Washington County. I would certainly take exception to the characterization that we have pulled out of Washington County.
According to Lieutenant Johnston, reasons for this include no increase in headcount since 1977, multiple troopers coming up on retirement, COVID-19 putting a temporary pause on hiring, and a, quote, anti-police sentiment has hindered recruitment.
It's been the perfect storm of factors that have resulted in us having to prioritize and make some adjustments to where we're providing services.
Next week, a meeting between Maine State Police and police commissioners from all 16 counties will be held to see what's next moving forward.
We both are dealing with challenges right now, but how do we come together to try to provide the best service?
What's going to happen in Augusta? What can they do to help us and not help us?
In Machias, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A little-known Republican presidential candidate has filed a lawsuit that seeks to disqualify former President Donald Trump from Maine's 2024 ballot. The suit from John Anthony Castro is part of a flurry of challenges he filed to Trump's candidacy in many states. A former federal prosecutor reportedly called the attempts a Hail Mary, although election officials in Maine and elsewhere are examining the legal arguments. Castro of Mansfield, Texas, filed the complaint in U.S. District Court in Portland and named Trump and Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows as defendants. It argues Section 3 of the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution should disqualify Trump from the ballot. That amendment disqualifies people who have, quote, engaged in insurrection or rebellion from holding office. Well, with the looming threat of another government shutdown, we sat down with Senator Angus King yesterday to discuss the ramifications of a shutdown and how he and other legislators are working to prevent it. A proposal co-sponsored by fellow senators, including James Lankford, aims to keep lawmakers in Washington until the budget issues are settled, effectively avoiding a shutdown. King states it would force officials to, quote, stay after school until you get your homework done. This would entail no recesses, no air travel paid for by taxpayers or campaigns, and asked that officials stay in Washington, putting maximum pressure on members to get that job done.
Yes, we can have differences about budgets and about spending and about revenues and all of those kinds of things, but our system is designed for debate and decision making, and there's no reason that we can't get these decisions made on time.
King says government shutdown served no useful purpose and that analysis of previous shutdowns show a net cost of billions. King also noted this issue is not a partisan issue and the proposal boasts a high-ranking group of bipartisan officials. A plant on the Mid-Coast that's made cement the last 100 years is now being shut down. Dragon Cement is New England's only cement plant. The closure will eventually put 65 people out of work. Brad Rogers looks at the reason for the shutdown and the impact of the closing.
Dragon has supplied cement to some of New England's largest hospitals and airports, even the Casco Bay Bridge. But now its parent company, Giant Cement out of Spain, plans to shut down the plant due to rising operation and shipping costs.
Fuel cost, labor costs, everything.
Steve is one of 65 employees at the plant. He says he doesn't understand the logic of closing the only cement plant in all of New England.
This place has been here for over 100 years. It's the only one in New England. They got to ship cement from Spain to Boston, then bring it into New Hampshire. Give me a break.
In a statement, the company's VP of Operations says despite our best efforts, these actions are necessary for the long-term sustainability of our business. The closure announcement, though, coming just 4 months after a federal agency cited the plant for 33 safety violations.
I've got quite a few years, and now I got to start over. They don't care.
Thomaston's town manager says Dragon Cement is one of their biggest employers and the largest contributor to their tax base. He doesn't know yet the full implications the closure will have on the town.
Now what? Is it going to, what is going to fill that space? Is it just going to sit there? That is a huge loss. People will be out of work.
The good thing is we're resilient and we're in need of good skilled workers.
The local Chamber of Commerce plans to work with other agencies to either find jobs for these workers or keep the plant open.
We will be working with the parties involved to see if we can keep that plant as a viable operation.
Keep it open.
Yeah, that would be great.
The plant's closure will be a gradual one starting in December of this year and closing in early 2025. Layoffs will start later this year as well.
Brad Rogers reporting. In other news, the Levant Fire Department has some new equipment to help them save lives. They were one of the first departments in the area to get hydraulic jaws of life. With ARPA funds from the Penobscot County Commissioners and town funding, they have now been able to get a new battery-operated set. Fire Chief Eric Strout says the updated equipment is more powerful and will be a big improvement.
We can go to work with limited resources. We all know we're struggling to get the resources in the public safety field, but with having these set of jaws battery operated, cuts that time in half, but also the manpower challenge that we face.
Department members are now training to use those new jaws of life. They're putting the old set up for sale. One of the busiest fire departments around, too. I'm sure they'll put those to good use. Well, the time now is 6:13. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, ribbon cutting in Augusta, where people are celebrating an expansion that will help families and children with disabilities. But first, let's take another look at that weather forecast. Looks like a cloudy day ahead today. It will be another hot and sticky one with highs up near 86 degrees. Mostly cloudy with a chance of thunderstorms overnight, lows dropping down to the upper 60s. Tomorrow, another cloudy day on the way. There will be more scattered showers and thunderstorms with a high of 82.
A texting driver hit me and I had to stop working. I needed help, but the insurance company only offered me this tiny check.
This tiny check won't even cover my medical bills.
After a car accident, don't take a tiny check from the insurance company. Call the twos.
I didn't take a tiny check. I called the twos, and Lowry & Associates got me over $350,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
Just minutes from exit 157 in Newport, Foggy's Pub is now open, serving delicious food in a casual, fun atmosphere. Relax inside or out on the deck. Pair it up with a handcrafted cocktail or choose from 20 cold brews on tap. Visit Foggy's Pub at Fogbrook Resort.
A lot of twists and turns in this case.
Tonight.
A major development in the case of the Long Island serial killer.
Huberman pleaded not guilty.
What has this job taught you about yourself? How to understand people.
All new 2020 tonight on ABC.
Little bit of sunshine.
Good morning, America.
It's the all-new game show
Is this thing a quadruped?
I don't even know what that means.
that has everybody guessing.
Will Smith? Yes! You are on a roll!
Person, place, or thing.
Bagpipe.
Yes!
Premiere September 11th.
Coming weekdays at 10 on ABC 7.
Welcome back, everyone. A decade of hard work and planning culminated in a ribbon-cutting ceremony for a multi-million-dollar expansion of a children's intervention center. Our Devin Dagnall has the story.
And then we're told that they got 100, 150 kids on the waiting list. I said, well, what can we do to help that? Well, this is what we did to help that. All right? And
despite the day's sweltering sun, the Children's Center in Augusta hosted a ribbon-cutting ceremony to unveil its new expansion that cost over $5 million. The expansion will allow the center to better accommodate families and children with special needs in the Central Maine area.
For over 10 years, we've had wait lists of 150 kids or more. Sometimes it would get down to closer to 100, but we average over the last 10 years about 150 kids on wait lists. This expansion, it's 14,000 square feet, so it more than doubles our treatment and intervention space. That means that we can accommodate those 150 kids that are on those wait lists.
For decades, the Children's Center has provided intervention for children with special educational and behavioral needs with an emphasis on early intervention. Executive Director of the center, Jeff Johnson, says by expanding the center and eliminating the wait list, his organization will be able to make a larger impact on these children.
Hold on one second.
Children like Kelly Gleason's two daughters, one of which who recently graduated from the program and the other who is still currently enrolled.
The moment we found out that Emma had a spot at the Children's Center, I almost burst into tears. The feeling of relief that came over me was just overwhelming. I knew that Emma would be okay and that our family would be okay.
Gleason says the center's early intervention has helped her daughter, who was diagnosed with level 3 autism spectrum disorder, grow in ways that still amaze her.
Emma's developmental improvements and achievements at the Children's Center are obvious to everyone who knows and loves her.
In Augusta, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
There are more Atlantic salmon in U.S. rivers than there have been in more than a decade. It's raising hopes that they may be weathering a number of ecological threats and that conservation efforts might be proving effective. Maine state data shows that officials counted more than 1,500 of the salmon in the Penobscot River, which is home to the country's largest run of Atlantic salmon. That is the most since 2011, when researchers counted about 2,900 of them. The salmon were once abundant in American rivers, but overfishing, loss of habitat, and pollution reduced their populations to only a handful of rivers here in Maine. Also brought an end to fishing for salmon in Maine. Well, a group in Waterville is doing research on an issue that's caused widespread smoke and haze across the United States: wildfires. Our Matthew Dronsick with that story.
A few years ago, Colby College assistant chemistry professor Greg Droz was looking at molecules in the atmosphere that absorb light and how they warm up the Earth. Studying brown carbon with his team, they made a discovery.
The types of molecules we started studying turn out that they're related to forest fires. So it's been pretty timely in the sense that we've seen a really huge surge in forest fires in the last couple years.
When a fire occurs, chemical reactions form because of molecules in the air that are absorbing sunlight, resulting in unique chemistry changes. Yet brown carbon is different. Its unique chemistry change happens over time in a process known as photobleaching, something Droz compares to leaving something outside and seeing it change color over time. This slow process causes new types of brown carbon to form, absorbing more sunlight and becoming hotter.
What we're interested in is what types of molecules are absorbing light in the atmosphere as a result of being emitted from a forest fire, and then what happens to those molecules after they're exposed to light.
The group is following the same formula in causing this reaction, using vanillin, a component of brown carbon that is released during wildfires in ultraviolet lights. And the results are not what you'd expect.
What we found is that it does look like some of the products are more absorbing than we might have thought, and that those might decrease the rate of photo bleaching.
While further testing awaits the group, member Sam Skiffington says he remains hopeful with the impact this research will bring.
Hopefully this will help us be able to map and predict the health outcomes for wildfires in the future and hopefully try to protect more people.
In Waterville, Matthew Juroncic, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Very interesting. Well, the time now is 6:20. Coming up after the break, climate protesters cause a delay in action at the U.S. Open. We'll have that story. Also, the latest on the search for that escaped killer that has Pennsylvania residents keeping their doors locked. Day 9 of that manhunt now underway. Those stories and more when Good Morning Maine continues.
Here at Rennie's, we've been a Maine staple for almost 75 years.
We have a great selection of Maine items. Thank you for supporting our Maine local businesses.
Wow, you guys got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, when you're in Maine, you gotta shop local.
Yeah, lots of great Maine stuff. I love it. We got some chips, we got Wilbur's of Maine, mud sauce, we got Ray's mustard, Bloody Mary mix, can't mix. We got it all.
Why do you think we went to Rennie's?
Rennie's, a Maine adventure.
I hurt my shoulder in a car accident and needed lots of medical treatment, but the insurance company only offered me this tiny little check.
This tiny check won't even cover my medical bills.
After a car accident, don't take a tiny check from the insurance company. Call the twos.
I didn't accept this tiny check. I called the twos, and Lowry and Associates got me $300,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
If I don't hear from you tonight, I know it, but I can't let go. Everything I love is out to sea.
The Greg B. Harrell Show. ...
Am I supposed to read the ...
More than that, you know there's nothing.
Welcome back, everyone. A Reuters photographer captured the moment that climate protesters halted the U.S. Open women's semifinal between American Coco Gauff and Czech Karolina Mochava for nearly an hour on Thursday. I don't know if I pronounced those names even close. Well, Gauff up a set and holding serve to open the second. A disturbance erupted in the upper bowl of Arthur Ashe Stadium, the sport's largest venue with a seating capacity of over 23,000. Stacey Allister, United States Tennis Association Chief Executive Professional Tennis, told ESPN the disturbance involved 3 climate protesters. 2 were removed peacefully, while a third had glued his feet to the cement floor. He was later freed and seen leaving the stadium in handcuffs. As players looked into the stands, security flooded into the section around where protesters were shouting. Several major sporting events have been targeted by climate groups this year. Just Stop Oil protesters interrupted play at Wimbledon in July, releasing orange ticker tape mixed with jigsaw puzzle pieces during matches, disrupting everything there. All right, well, the time now is 6:24. Let's get a full look at our weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Dirt Road Acres, your #1 dispensary providing outstanding customer service and award-winning knowledge at most affordable prices. As we get into things this morning, there is an aerial flood advisory that has been issued for parts of Washington County, at least for a while this morning, because of some flooding that has taken place in that area. You can see it's expiring, at least around the time indicated there on the screen. But again, we're going to be watching for that courtesy of some showers and storms that have moved over the same area. Of course, on top about some reduced visibility? Washington County dealing with some fog this morning, while other areas across our viewing area, especially in our southern counties, seeing some fog as well. So not a great combo to have some showers and storms causing some flooding and some fog on top of that, making it hard to see. But otherwise, you can see where we've had showers and storms pretty much over that same spot, though. That's why that advisory was issued. But now with the rain tapering off, the flooding should go back down, and that advisory can expire. But as we zoom things out, though, bigger picture looks like this. Area low pressure right about in here, so remaining rather active. And this will all be tracking off towards the east, moving forward. So that means chances for showers and thunderstorms over the next few days will be expected. So futurecast moving forward, though, will calm down for a while with the mostly cloudy sky. Maybe some peaks of sunshine later into the day. But as we head towards later on tonight, though, a few showers and storms cannot be ruled out either. Otherwise, a mostly cloudy sky. Maybe some areas of dense fog as well. As we start things off for your Saturday, we may have to watch for a few showers and storms Saturday afternoon as well as we do move forward, and maybe into Saturday evening as well, with more areas of dense fog possible in a few areas. But as for the rainfall, though, nothing too meaningful as we head towards your Saturday. At least maybe up to 2/10 of an inch of rain, maybe locally higher amounts in a few spots, at least through Saturday, early Sunday morning. But running through Sunday, Monday, into parts of Tuesday, some more rainfall expected between now and Tuesday, though, maybe up to an inch, maybe an inch and a half of rainfall in a few spots. Average high temperature is 74 degrees. We'll reach for the mid-80s today, lower 80s for your Saturday. Gradual cool down as lower to middle 70s will be expected Sunday all the way through Thursday of next week. And dew points are still up there, though. Still a little humid out there with dew points forecasted into the 60s and even some 70s. But notice so by Sunday and a Monday, and even Tuesday and a Wednesday, lower to middle 60s expected. So at least the dew points will start to go down. So for today, mid-80s, mostly cloudy, warm and humid out there. South wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, upper 60s, mostly cloudy, some fog on the way. A few thunderstorms can't be ruled out. South wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, lower 80s for tomorrow. Scattered showers and thunderstorms on, but otherwise, though, with that south wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Dirt Road Acres. So showers and storms again Sunday and Monday. Temperatures in the lower to middle 70s and lower 70s again Tuesday with a slight chance for showers.
Stop waiting. Start living your life without knee or hip pain. Connect with a Northern Light orthopedist and get back out there. Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center. How are you?
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
At Living Innovations, we build community. You can be a part of it. We put supporting people first, and that builds a caring community within our workforce and for the people we serve. Living Innovations supports people with disabilities and has flexible work opportunities available. You could become a shared living provider and work from home, or help support people to be active in the community. To learn more, visit livinginnovations.com and check out our employment and home provider opportunities. Become a part of Living Innovations and be part of a community with a purpose.
It was like 8 o'clock, and Rick's not home yet. I called his phone, and there was no answer. My front doorbell rings. I knew the minute I heard the doorbell what was on the other side. They knew that Rick was driving 8 miles an hour, and the brakes were engaged, and the person that rear-ended him just wasn't paying attention. Unless you're looking straight ahead, everything else you do is distracted driving. If this could help one family, time well spent. Nobody should have that knock on the door.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. This morning, hundreds of law enforcement officers continue their hunt for an escaped murderer on the run in southeast Pennsylvania. Residents again spotted Danilo Cavalcante for an 8th time as they grow more frustrated with how long that search is taking. ABC's M. Wynn has the latest from Washington.
This morning, the urgent manhunt for a convicted killer in Pennsylvania now in its second week. Authorities investigating the 8th credible sighting of Danilo Cavalcante.
We are checking homes. We are talking to neighbors. We have horses out there as well that are assisting with the search, tactical teams.
Sources tell our Philadelphia station WPVI Cavalcante was spotted on another trail camera near the local Longwood Botanical Gardens, the same area he was spotted in on Monday, shown here appearing to hold a bag. Residents there told to shelter in place as a precaution. Armed law enforcement seen scouring the neighborhood. Police say this sighting of the 34-year-old sentenced to life in prison for murdering his ex-girlfriend indicates he likely has been traveling back and forth and is contained in a search area of 8 to 10 square miles.
This has been going on for a week now, and it has to be beyond frustrating.
It's insane. I mean, it really is insane. And I don't know what to tell you. I mean, special ops get them in here. Anything.
Whatever it takes,
right,
basically.
whatever it takes.
The escapee has eluded hundreds of law officers since he broke out of the Chester County Prison, seen in this stunning security video where he scales these narrow walls to the roof to get out. Officials say the guard in the observation tower has been placed on administrative leave. Prison officials promising increased security at the facility, including additional surveillance cameras to eliminate blind spots.
I believe he becomes more desperate. We will eventually capture him. And when we do, he's going to prison.
The reward for information leading to Cavalcante's capture is now at $20,000, but police warn he's still considered extremely dangerous. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, actor Danny Masterson has been sentenced to 30 years in prison after his conviction on 2 counts of rape. His victims confronting him in the courtroom, one calling him pathetic, disturbed, and completely violent.
Tonight,
the other saying he showed no remorse at all. Here's ABC's Zoreen with more.
Tonight, the maximum penalty for Danny Masterson, a judge sentencing the actor to 30 years to life in prison for the rapes of 2 women 2 decades ago. What message does this sentencing send?
I think it shows that there is justice.
It was a stunning fall from grace for the one-time star of That 70s Show. Prosecutors painted a portrait of a predator who spiked the drinks of his 2 victims so he could rape them. The women and Masterson were all members of the Church of Scientology at the time. Jane Doe won today, saying through tears, "I wish I'd reported him sooner to the police." The women claimed the church harassed them after they reported the rapes, something the church has strongly denied. Jane Doe 2 today telling Masterson, "You relish in hurting women. It is your addiction. It is without question your favorite thing to do." Prosecutors today grateful for the testimony.
I know these victims have been waiting a long time for this day. It's been a number of years getting here. They've been through a lot.
The 47-year-old actor showed no emotion as he was sentenced, but his wife at times sobbing. Actress Bijou Phillips, who was stood by Masterson, waved to her husband as he blew her a kiss before being escorted from the courtroom. And the Church of Scientology, they deny ever harassing Masterson's accusers. They say they have no policy discouraging members from reporting criminal conduct. Instead, the church says its policy demands that Scientologists abide by all laws of the land. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, meanwhile, crews are in day 2 of a life-saving mission to rescue an American trapped in a cave in Turkey. Mark Dickey, a scientist from New Jersey, was part of an expedition to map the interior of the cave when he became ill while more than 3,000 feet beneath the surface. The 40-year-old developed internal bleeding, couldn't eat, and it became clear that there was no way he was climbing out on his own. After 3 days, medical professionals finally reached him and began giving him blood transfusions. His condition has improved, but he's still too sick to climb out, and the cave is too narrow in areas for stretchers. Rescuers say it could be several days or even weeks before he is finally brought to the surface. An incredible rescue mission underway there. Well, coming up on the second half of our newscast, a special event this weekend to honor grandparents and others who step in to care for children in need. There we go. Along with your weekend forecast as well. We'll have those stories and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Living in Maine means long, cold winters and hot, humid summers. Whatever the weather, Bangor Heat Pumps is your solution. Open 24/7, Bangor Heat Pumps takes care of you at home or at work. We operate statewide and service all brands and models. Understanding moving can be stressful. We will help move any units you may have. We offer a veterans discount in our home with a Capeless Hero discount. Visit us online at BangorHeatPumpsLLC.com or call or text us at 307-7746. Bangor Heat Pumps.
Some things are worth waiting for. Something reliable, something loyal, something long-lasting. A 6-year warranty? Coyote's got that. One machine for all the dirty work? Count on Coyote. Coyote won't break your heart, and Whittemore & Sons got the deals that won't break the bank. So quit swiping and settling for less. Slide into Whittemore & Sons and be treated like family by a family who cares. 257 Waterville Road, Skowhegan.
A texting driver hit me, and the insurance company only offered me this tiny check.
Don't take a tiny check from the insurance company.
Lowry & Associates got me over $350,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
Call 222-2222.
Hanks Husqvarna is your full-line Husqvarna dealer with 2 convenient locations, 32 Old State Road in Carmel and 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport. Whether it's tractors and zero turns, chainsaws to trimmers, or pressure washers to battery power, everything is set up, serviced, and ready to go by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or sales, stop in to Hanks Husqvarna, Carmel or Newport.
Rennie's, a Maine adventure.
Summer's almost over, but Rennie's has everything you need for fall. We've got rakes, we got trash cans, you name it.
We need a bigger rake.
Get to Rennie's, you guys.
Thank you for shopping Rennie's.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Friday, September 8th, 2023. Today is also International Literacy Day. This holiday is meant to raise awareness and concern for literacy issues that exist within our own communities as well as globally. Literacy is a matter of dignity and human rights because the barriers that people face who struggle to read and write can be immense. If you need help sharpening your literacy skills, or if you would like to help folks who need it, you can reach out to Literacy Volunteers of Bangor. They also need some volunteers to help continue their important mission. All right, now for some history. On this day back in 1565, the United States saw the first permanent European settlement at St. Augustine, Florida. In 1892, there was the first appearance of the saying of the Pledge of Allegiance in an American youth group. In 1920, U.S. airmail service began between New York City and San Francisco. And in 1974, American motorcycle daredevil Evel Knievel attempted to jump the Snake River Canyon in Idaho, but failed. He escaped with only minor injuries. You remember that? He had kind of like a rocket car. And finally now, some more recent history on this day in 2021. A large statue of the Confederate General Robert E. Lee was removed on Monument Avenue in Richmond, Virginia. For birthdays today, we have a United States Senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders. He is 82 years old today. I just love that picture of Bernie. Iconic country and pop singer Patsy Cline was born on this day way back in 1932. She died way too young in 1963. And for a more contemporary one, we have rapper Wiz Khalifa, who is 36 years old today. Cameraman Keenan nodding his head in agreement, wishing Khalifa a happy birthday. All right, now let's move on to our weather forecast. Looks like more clouds moving in today, perhaps some rain and thunderstorms throughout the weekend. Here's Devin with the details.
Alrighty, Craig, thank you very much. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Dirt Road Acres, your #1 dispensary providing outstanding customer service and award-winning knowledge at most affordable prices. As we get into things this morning, there was an aerial flood advisory issued for a while this morning for parts of Washington County because of some heavy rainfall that have since fallen in those areas. And we take a look at the radar in a few seconds, we'll show you that. But of course, on top of that, though, areas of dense fog developing this morning. So in Washington County, It looks like we have some fog and some aerial flooding that's taking place this morning, so not a good combo there. But other spots are waking up to some fog in a few areas. But otherwise, here's the radar. You can see the showers and storms that have developed. They've been tracking from the west, going to the east, kind of moving over the same area. That's why an aerial flood advisory has been issued, because there's been some heavy downpours with some of those showers and storms as well. As we do zoom things out, though, we're starting to catch a little bit of a break looking further off towards the west. Overall, we should be dry today with a mostly cloudy sky, but chances for showers and thunderstorms will start to pick up again later on tonight. Mostly cloudy today, maybe some sunshine late in the day as well. A few showers and storms are possible again later on tonight and parts of early tomorrow morning. As for the winds, not bad, roughly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, maybe more gusty ones along the coast near the ocean area, but nothing too extreme on the way, at least anytime soon. So your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a mostly cloudy sky, temperatures rising into the 80s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig?
All right, thank you very much, Devin. Well, there are more and more grandparents, relatives, and close friends stepping up to make sure a child has what they need day to day. And this weekend will be a chance to say thank you to those special people. Adoptive and Foster Families of Maine is celebrating Grandparents' Day this weekend by giving those families a free day out with their kids. On Sunday, the Cole Land Transportation Museum, along with 2 other places in Maine, will be open for free to say thank you to those adults who make such a difference in their young people's lives.
So the children and the families will come, they'll do the tour, we'll have some games for them outside and some little treats for the entire family in a way to say thank you to the caretakers in particular.
The festivities will be from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. on Sunday. For more information, you can visit AFFM.net. Again, that web address is AFFM.net. A2FM.net. I think we got it now. Still to come, Tyler Cruz with all the day sports news. Don't go away.
We were on the Christmas storm. We had just fixed 2 broken lines. We heard screaming coming from across the road.
I was so scared that I was going to lose him. He's the apple of my eye.
Nancy said that Kai was choking, and so I gave him a good hard hit in between his shoulder blades and saw something come out of his mouth, so I knew that was a good sign.
If Dana wasn't here, I don't know what I'd done. He just showed up out of the blue, saved his life.
When it comes to fixing your car, you should have a choice.
But out-of-state automakers are starting to restrict access to your car's mechanical data.
That means local independent repair shops like mine,
and mine too, will lose their ability to diagnose problems and make repairs,
forcing you to expensive dealerships.
Right to Repair will protect your choice.
Your choice.
It's your car. Get it fixed where you want.
Please vote yes on question 4. Yes on Right to Repair.
I hurt my shoulder in a car accident, but the insurance company only offered me this tiny little check.
Don't take a tiny check from the insurance company.
Lowry and Associates got me $300,000.
Call the 2s. We win for you.
When Dover Audiology wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Come to Dover Audiology and find out where people from Kittery to Eastport go to get their hearing aids. Knowledgeable, friendly, and reasonable. Dover Audiology is your best place for hearing solutions.
Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start out on the high school soccer pitch. Penobscot Valley girls soccer coming into the season as defending Class D North champs. They've got a good chunk of players coming back, and with some new additions to their field, they are looking for another run this year. Ryan Sudol has more.
We have a lot of hunger. We have a lot to show. Hopefully it turns out in our favor this year.
Penobscot Valley girls soccer won the D North championship last year before being shut out at state by North Yarmouth.
but these girls have short memories.
You know, once you do that, all you can think about is like, well, when's the next season?
With the season underway, the Howlers' expectations have not changed. For starters, PVC Class D Player of the Year Lila Cummings is back after winning the award as a freshman.
So much of what we do goes through her. You know, she's our central part of the field, and you know, even if she's not scoring the goals, she's moving the ball up, drawing defenders. She can play really anywhere.
Cummings was the lead scorer last year, with the bulk of their incredible offense being freshmen and sophomores.
It's really amazing to see that they're contributing so much to the team, knowing that when we move forward, we still have all that there for us.
Most of their incredible defense is also back and returning Mia Neal, a vital piece to their 2021 season, who missed all of last year to injury.
It is so exciting. It was a long, long year. I was so excited to be back with my teammates. It just felt so nice.
We've been together through it all. Just having someone, another person that you know that you can trust, being there, having your back. It's been so amazing.
But the biggest new wrinkle for this season, the Howlers' home field can now host night games with their brand new lights.
I think it just adds a new element of excitement. We played that opener against Bangor Christian. It was almost like a homecoming type crowd.
Having those late games brings everyone in, and just playing under the lights is such an amazing feeling.
The lights were fully funded by community members and businesses. Just goes to show how much they love their Howlers, and the Howlers want nothing more than to make good on the investment.
They're honestly just always there to support us, even when maybe we don't have a good game, but they're always there.
It means a lot, and we mean a lot to them. Every day we work harder, make the people that made this happen proud of us.
In Howland, I'm Ryan Sudol, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
Thanks for that, Ryan. Let's stay on the high school sports scene now, and we are going to start with some field hockey. The Nokomis Warriors on the road paying a visit to the Huskies out of MCI. First quarter will pick it up. No score, Huskies on the attack. Celia Stinson gets it inside to Ashley Jarvis. A nice pass there to an open Charlotte Peasley. MCI is on the board. Score is 1-0. And from there on out, it was a goalie showcase. Look at Chichi Rivera. She is doing it all in net to keep her Huskies up 1-0. Sprawling out, crawling around. What an effort for her right there. Here's Nokomis now. Madeline Roundy, nice move around the defense. Ava Lovely gets it, but again, Rivera sprawling out for the save. Late in the half now, Peasley again with it all alone, but the Warrior defense comes up with a stop, and that is a clutch stop. A nice play from Abby Reynolds and Aaliyah Drummond. Nokomis wins 2-1 in overtime is the final. All right, here we go to some high school football action, some Thursday night football action. John Baptist Bangor Christian hosting Belfast at Alphonse Stadium. Early first quarter, Crusaders' Aiden Willett with the great ball fake, and he will score. That's going to make it 7-0 after one drive. Next drive, Willett, the pitch out to Hayden Rollins, but Belfast Riker Evans tracks him down for the 7-yard loss, but it didn't stop the Crusaders. Here's Logan McMahon on a sweep. He's got some speed, and he's got a touchdown for John Baptist. That's going to make it 13-0. Still in the first later on, Hollins takes it right up the gut, a stiff arm, and he is in the clear on his way for 6 to extend the Crusaders' lead. They win this one 44-16 is the final. And now for some other scores from around the area. In soccer, Brewer over Messalonsky 4-0, and Bangor over Camden Hills Girls 3-0. In Class C soccer, Panquist over Searsport 8-0, and Herman Hawks Girls Soccer over MDI 9-1. All right, that is all the time we have for sports. Big Sports Blitz coming up on Friday. We'll be right back after the break.
People ask me all the time, does Lowry & Associates really get all of those clients, all of those big settlements? Yes, we do. And you know what else is true? I really am standing on top of this big truck.
I ran the consumer-owned utility on Swans Island, and it was a failed experiment for our community. That's why I'm so concerned about question 3. It will be a massive $13.5 billion gamble that puts politicians in control of our power. It will lead to higher energy bills, and they're not even required to have an operations plan when they take over. Mainers can't afford this costly proposal. Please vote no on question 3.
Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pequot region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority. And with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, Milo.
Welcome back, everyone. We turn overseas now to a solemn day in the UK. Millions are pausing today to remember Queen Elizabeth II. ABC's Rhiannon Nally has more.
This morning, 1 year after her death, King Charles is paying tribute to his late mother.
We recall with great affection her long life, devoted service, and all she meant to so many of us.
The king is spending the day privately at the family's Balmoral estate, reflecting on his mother's life in this new audio message.
I am deeply grateful, too, for the love and support that has been shown to my wife and myself during this year.
The anniversary of the Queen's death, coming just days after a survey found King Charles remains unpopular with his younger subjects. 52% of British people ages 18 to 24 say they disapprove of Charles. Only 28% have a positive view of him.
All the polls suggest that the younger generation have really not connected with him and don't really see the point of an unelected head of state. So I think there's work to do there.
One major difference between King Charles's reign and the Queen's is protesters showing up at nearly every event King Charles attends, mostly young people holding signs reading, "Not my king," and "Who elected him?"
What has been the defining characteristic of his reign so far is just how little has changed. There's been a very clear emphasis on continuity, and both in style and in content, he's stuck very close to the way that his late mother did things.
Meanwhile, this commemorative coin has been unveiled in honor of the late Queen. It's the size of a basketball, made of nearly 8 pounds of gold, with 6,400 diamonds. It was made by a luxury lifestyle company. The price tag could top $23 million. Rhiannon Nally, ABC News, New York.
And later on today, Prince William is also expected to deliver a message in honor of the Queen's legacy. All right, shifting gears now, it's time to focus on that weekend forecast. Looks like lots of clouds and maybe some thunderstorms this weekend. Here's Devin Biggs with more.
Alrighty, Craig, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Dirt Road Acres, your #1 dispensary providing outstanding customer service and award-winning knowledge at most affordable prices. As we get into things this morning, there is an aerial flood advisory that has been issued for parts of Washington County, at least for a while this morning, because of some flooding that has taken place in that area. You can see it's expiring, at least around the time indicated there on the screen. But again, we're going to be watching for that courtesy of some showers and storms that have moved over the same area. Of course, on top of that, some reduced visibility. Washington County dealing with some fog this morning, while other areas across our viewing area, especially in our southern counties, seeing some fog as well. So not a great combo to have some showers and storms causing some flooding and some fog on top of that, making it hard to see. But otherwise, you can see where we've had showers and storms pretty much over that same spot, though. That's why that advisory was issued. But now with the rain tapering off, the flooding should go back down, and that advisory can expire. But as we zoom things out, though, bigger picture looks like this. Area low pressure right about in here, so remaining rather active. And this will all be tracking off towards the east moving forward. So that means chances for showers and thunderstorms over the next few days will be expected. So futurecast moving forward, though, will calm down for a while with the mostly cloudy sky. Maybe some peaks of sunshine later into the day. But as we head towards later on tonight, though, a few showers and storms cannot be ruled out either. Otherwise, a mostly cloudy sky. Maybe some areas of dense fog as well as we start things off for your Saturday. We may have to watch for a few showers and storms Saturday afternoon as well as we do move forward, and maybe into Saturday evening as well, with more areas areas of dense fog possible in a few areas. But as for the rainfall, though, nothing too meaningful as we head towards your Saturday. At least maybe up to 2/10 of an inch of rain, maybe locally higher amounts in a few spots, at least through Saturday, early Sunday morning. But running through Sunday, Monday, into parts of Tuesday, some more rainfall expected. Between now and Tuesday, though, maybe up to an inch, maybe an inch and a half of rainfall in a few spots. Average high temperature is 74 degrees. We'll reach for the mid-80s today. Lower 80s for you Saturday. Gradual cool down as lower to middle 70s will be expected Sunday all the way through Thursday of next week. And dew points are still up there, though. Still a little humid out there with dew points forecasted into the 60s and even some 70s. But notice so by Sunday and a Monday, and even Tuesday and a Wednesday, lower to middle 60s expected. So at least the dew points will start to go down. So for today, mid-80s, mostly cloudy, warm and humid out there. South wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, upper 60s, mostly cloudy, some fog on the way. A few thunderstorms can't be ruled out. South wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, lower 80s for tomorrow. Scattered showers and thunderstorms on, but otherwise, with that south wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Dirt Road Acres. So showers and storms again Sunday and Monday. Temperatures in the lower to middle 70s and lower 70s again Tuesday with a slight chance for showers.
Rennie's, a main adventure.
40 degrees this morning.
Yes, it was. But at Rennie's, we have a great selection of throws, lots of pillows, always at the best prices, lots of comfy stuff. Get to Rennie's.
Thank you for shopping Rennie's.
A tractor is a big piece of machinery, so you have to trust what your dealer's telling you is the right thing.
We're just trying to help you figure out what the best tool is to do the job that you've got in front of you.
United Ag and Turf customer experience has been great. I had to call the service department. I was able to get somebody come out. He even texted me later just to make sure everything was good the next day.
The sales process was very low pressure. We ended up with the tractor that we wanted. We've also ended up with the service that we needed.
We are United, your local John Deere dealer.
Stop waiting. Start living your life without knee or hip pain. Connect with a Northern Light orthopedist and get back out there. Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center. How are you?
Do you want to improve or upgrade your home? Well, At Home Furniture, Appliance, and Bedding in Lincoln and Dover Foxcroft has got you covered. We pride ourselves in the relationships we build with every customer, from commercial businesses to homeowners. We have some of the best prices on the best brands of appliances, furniture, and mattresses, and we even offer full kitchen and bath remodels with a designer and installers on staff. So stop in today and check us out at one of our locations and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
It's a new spin on Dancing with the Stars. Coming this fall to ABC, Disney Plus, and Hulu.
A major music streaming service may branch out into a new area of audio content. A Wall Street Journal report says Spotify is going to test a free audio book bundle for paying subscribers. The report says Spotify will be working with large U.S. publishers in a pilot program as it tests the waters for becoming a key supplier of audio book content. Spotify could challenge Amazon's Audible book platform if successful. The report says the test will begin in English-speaking countries, including the U.S., Canada, Australia, and the U.K. And a rare newborn orangutan holds onto mama at a zoo in England. The Chester Zoo welcomed the baby Bornean orangutan into the world on August 31st. The birth is good news for the zoo's conservationists. Bornean orangutans are endangered, and the newborn will eventually be part of a breeding program to help increase the population of the species. The baby's mother, Sharike, has been seen cradling and feeding her infant. And Gatorade is introducing a new drink that doesn't feature bright colors or flavor. The beverage company is releasing Gatorade Water, which it says will support all-day hydration for active people. The company says the water is, quote, electrolyte infused. Gatorade says most consumers do not try enhanced water because there isn't a brand on the market that they trust. The new product is set to hit the shelves next year. All right, or you can just have a glass of water too. That's what I do. That's it for now, folks. We thank you for joining us. ABC 7, Good Morning America is next on ABC 7. We'll continue broadcasting on Fox 22. Go have some water and have a wonderful day.